Hello everyone, my name is Brayden. This is Airless Quill 9 and in today's video, we are going to talk about the Cloaker. This is the Haunter in the Dark. Cloakers are mysterious Underdark predators named by adventurers for their resemblance to hanging cloaks when they cling to walls. What Cloakers call themselves is unknown, if they refer to themselves at all. Although they're undeniably intelligent, their behavior is often inscrutable. Cloakers sometimes gather in Underdark enclaves, but they rarely build settlements or form societal structures. Most operate as solitary predators, lurking in dismal subterranean reaches or abandoned dungeons, sometimes for months at a time, as they wait for prey to pass. They use their mottled hides to blend in with their surroundings. When unsuspecting prey nears, cloakers unfurl and attempt to latch on and then smother their victims in their powerful wings. Cloakers delight in frightening foes. In addition to their methods of ambush, cloakers can create illusory duplicates of themselves and emit surreal moans that non-cloakers find terrifying and unexplainable primal ways. Cloakers might antagonize explorers lost in the Underdark for days, terrorizing and scattering them before attacking. They rarely converse with other beings except to whisper eerie riddles to those they're about to consume. So the Cloaker is kind of a scary creature, so let's get to their actual stat block to talk about how they function mechanically. So the Cloaker is a large aberration, chaotic neutral. It has an armor class of 14, an initiative of +5, 91 hit points, a speed of 10 feet, and a fly speed of 40 feet. They have a strength of 17, a dexterity of 15, a constitution of 12, an intelligence of 13, a wisdom of 14, and a charisma of 7. They have a stealth of +5. They are immune to the frightened condition. They have dark vision of 120 feet, a passive perception of 12. And for their languages, they speak deep speech and undercommon. For their challenge rating, they are a challenge rating 8. This gives them 3,900 experience points and a proficiency bonus of +3. For their traits, they have light sensitivity. This says that while in bright light, the Cloaker has disadvantage on attack rolls. For their actions, they have a multi-attack that allows them to make 1 attach attack and 2 tail attacks. Attach is a melee attack roll with a +6 to hit, a reach of 5 feet. On a hit, it deals 3d6 +3 piercing damage. If the target is a large or smaller creature, the Cloaker attaches to it. While the Cloaker is attached, the target has the blinded condition, and the Cloaker can't make attach attacks against other targets. In addition, the Cloaker halves the damage it takes round down, and the target takes the same amount of damage. The Cloaker can detach itself by spending 5 feet of movement. The target or a creature within 5 feet of it can take an action to try to detach the Cloaker, doing so by succeeding on a DC 14 Strength Athletics check. The tail is a melee attack roll with a +6 to hit and a reach of 10 feet. On a hit, it deals 1d10 +3 slashing damage. And finally, for bonus actions, the Cloaker has 2 options available. It can use Moan, which is a Wisdom saving throw, DC 13. It affects each creature in a 60-foot emanation originating from the Cloaker. And on a failure, the target has the frightened condition until the end of the Cloaker's next turn. On a success, however, the target is immune to this Cloaker's Moan for the next 24 hours. Finally, Phantasms is a recharge of once per short or long rest, and it regains that ability after it finishes a short or long rest. The Cloaker can cast the Mirror Image spell, requiring no spell components, and using Wisdom as the spellcasting ability. The spell ends early if the Cloaker starts or ends its turn in Bright Light. So yeah, that is the Cloaker. Let's go ahead and talk about the changes from its 2014 counterpart, because there are a few to mention here. First off, the Cloaker's hit points have actually increased. They have gained 2 hit dice. They used to have 12d10 plus 12 for an average of 78 hit points. Now they have gained an extra 2 hit dice for an average of 91. So yeah, there's an increase there, which is pretty significant. Next, the Cloaker's Wisdom and Charisma scores have changed. This has also affected their modifiers and saving throws. Their old Wisdom modifier or ability score used to be 12, so it is now a 14, and the old Charisma score used to be a 14, and that is now a 7, so that has changed significantly. The Cloaker has also gained immunity to the Frightened condition, so that is entirely new. The dark vision used to be 60 feet on the 2014 Cloaker, so that has increased to 120. And because the wisdom score has changed, the passive perception has also been increased by 1. So those are the changes on that side of the stat block. Additionally, the old Cloaker used to have 2 additional traits. These were called damage transfer and false appearance. False appearance used to be that while it was remaining motionless without its underside exposed, it was indistinguishable from a dark leather cloak. But honestly, that's why it has that stealth skill in the first place. And you can always rule as the dungeon master that that is something that is undeterminable by just looking at the cloakers. So it was more of a flavor feature than anything else, not a mechanical one, which is why they have removed it. The other trait that they used to have is called damage transfer, but that has been moved into the attach attack itself, so we will talk about that there. So the multi-attack has changed slightly. It used to be that the Cloaker made 1 bite attack and 1 tail attack. Now that has changed to 1 attach attack and 2 tail attacks. So that is different there. So attach has replaced the bite attack. Attach now deals 3d6 plus 3 damage, which is an additional dive damage more than the old bite attack used to deal. It still functions quite the same way, but the damage transfer, which was in the old stat block, has been moved here to the last line of the first paragraph in the attach attack. So that is still present here in the stat block. I have just noticed that the old bite attack for the Cloaker used to say that the target was unable to breathe while the Cloaker was attached to it. That is no longer listed anywhere in the attach attack. So I guess they can breathe now. So that's a small mechanical change, though wasn't really something that players truly worried about in the midst of battle. The next change is that the tail attack has changed, and that is that its damage has slightly increased. It used to be 1d8 plus 3. It is now 1d10 plus 3, so they have increased it by a die type. And now that the Cloaker is making 2 of those attacks, it is dealing significantly more damage than the previous version used to. And with the inclusion of the damage increase in attach, the Cloaker is honestly dealing quite a bit of damage now, more than the old Cloaker did before. Finally, the most significant changes are to Moan and Phantasms. These used to be full actions. They have now been changed into bonus actions, which has greatly increased the capabilities of the Cloaker in combat. It will never have to sacrifice dealing damage in order to use either Moan or Phantasms on his turn, which greatly improves the capabilities of the Cloaker in combat. So this is quite significant in turn. Also, as tiny mechanical changes, Moan used to not be able to affect other aberrations. That has been removed from Moan altogether. Though ideally, if you are having your players being attacked by a group of Cloakers, since the Cloakers are now immune to the Frightened condition, that isn't going to affect any of the Cloakers in the combat, since they cannot be under the Frightened condition. So Moan will not affect other Cloakers in the same combat. So I guess that is a upgrade to their stat block in that particular way. Finally, Phantasms used to be essentially mechanically mirror image, but it spelled out the entire mechanical benefits of the spell itself and the ability. Now, Phantasms just has the Cloaker cast the mirror image spell, albeit since they are doing it with no spell components, the mirror image cannot be counterspelled when they use this feature, so that is pretty cool there. Of course, the old Phantasms feature did have it end whenever the Cloaker started or ended their turn in bright light, so that is still present in this feature. So that has not mechanically changed. It's simply that the Phantasms now are just the mirror image spell. So they have cleaned up the mechanical functionality of Phantasms, but mechanically it is still functionally the same. And mirror image itself has seen some actual changes from its 2014 counterpart. It is now a lot easier for the mirror images to protect the creature that casts the spell. So yeah, there are some mechanical benefits to this as well. So overall, I think the Cloaker has seen some major improvements in both its functionality, its defenses, and its damage dealing capabilities. And honestly, the Cloaker is a lot scarier than its 2014 counterpart because of this. So yeah, this Cloaker is a lot better mechanically than the 2014 version, and I would highly suggest using this one in your next Dungeons and Dragons adventure. So yeah, that is the Cloaker. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'm releasing one of these videos every weekday, so keep an eye out for these videos. We're going through every monster in the 2024 Monster Manual, and tomorrow will be our video on the Cloud Giant, and there are going to be a lot of changes there, so keep an eye out for that video. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later.